The cryptocurrency market is expanding rapidly despite it being down over 50% from its all-time high. And in this video, I want to show you 3 different ways the crypto market is continuing to expand despite being in a bear market. Now on top of this, we have a lot of price action that's happening on Bitcoin. We moved up $4,000 from roughly $28,000 all the way up to nearly $32,000 before seeing this little bit of rejection that we are just now witnessing on the candle chart. So I want to break down everything that's happening in the news and again talk about these different ways that the crypto markets are continuing to grow, but also take a look at the candle chart and see exactly what is happening over here, because this is an exciting time to be in cryptocurrency. There's a lot of people trying to theorize whether or not this is indeed the bottom for Bitcoin or if it has lower price action that might come in the not so distant future. So we're really going to be covering all different ends of this crypto journey. But first things first, let's talk about what is happening in this crypto space and how cryptocurrency is continuing to grow despite being down a lot from its all-time high. Now we saw this all-time high roughly 6 months ago at the very end of November, very beginning of December, and since then Bitcoin is still down about 55%. But that really doesn't matter, because if we go and we look at what's happening fundamentally in the news, we can number one tell everything's down. Metals, stocks, indices, cryptos, you name it. The only thing that's not down right now is probably gas, because gas prices are at record highs. But one of the reoccurring themes that we've talked about on this channel is that there is still millions and billions of dollars flowing into the crypto market to stimulate it and to help promote new innovative growth every single week. I mean, just last week we were talking about a $4.5 billion fund to go towards different Web3 startups. And in this case, Binance has now raised $500 million to help fund and invest into Web3. So despite them being in a bear market, this is where these venture capitals and this large institutional money is really starting to see the value in a lot of these startups, because number one, they believe that this is going to be the future of tech, or one of the areas in futuristic tech. And number two, if it is going to be a future area of tech that they believe is going to be here long term, then this is the perfect time to invest, because cryptocurrency is dipping as a whole right now. So they go on to really say why they want to invest in the crypto right now, and specifically what they want to be investing into. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, but it's important to understand where large institutional money is going. Because if we know where large institutional money is going, then we can know where where those big fish want to push the crypto space. And so they go in here and they talk about non-fungible tokens, which are NFTs, and decentralized autonomous organizations, which are otherwise known as DAOs. And on top of the Web3 space, it seems like the area that they want to focus this funding, again, they want to do it across all of Web3, but here they give a specific example of NFTs and DAOs, which they are very interested in. So if we're looking at where these hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars are going to go, we have seen that Web3 is a very, very reoccurring theme across the board. Now inside of that, you have all the different blockchain gamings and GameFi and play to earn and the metaverse, but we also have what we're looking at here, like decentralized autonomous organizations and NFTs. Now there are lots of other spaces inside of Web3, and we also have DeFi and a lot of other fields. But again, it's important to know every time one of these articles come out, if you see a reoccurring theme throughout all of them, then it's probably important to understand that big money is going to be pushing these projects in the next bull run. And that's an important thing to understand. So it looks like Web3 is going to continue to be at the forefront push of large institutional money. And that's a very, very useful fact to understand. But again, do your own research. But from what I've seen, it really does look like Web3 is in a major institutional push right now. So number two, DeFi ledgers can potentially help regulators oversee the regulation sector. And so what happened is a BIS, I believe is official, came out and started explaining how DeFi can actually be used to help regulators, and that we can potentially have DeFi almost regulating itself by actively and proactively collecting and verifying the different kinds of data that's needed, making everyone's job easier. Now, I know everyone is not going to be a fan of something like this because we want there to be as little regulation and as little of government's hands inside of crypto as possible. But if this can be done in a non-invasive way, it might just be a perfect scenario where everyone's happy. If the regulators and the government is happy with crypto because they are able to easily get what they need out of it, and we're all happy because the government is going to kind of stay out of it if they can regulate this process, it could just be a perfect storm scenario where the government gets what they want and the people get what they want and everyone's happy at the end of the day. Now, as most of you know, that's not usually how it works. There's always going to be someone that is unhappy about something, but this is definitely having a little bit of potential, and it's nice to have people in the government that are supportive of cryptocurrency, but also still trying to do their job. So this is a nice little healthy balance that we've started seeing, in that government officials and regulators are becoming more crypto friendly for the most part. There are a couple of naysayers out there, but crypto regulation seems to be in a good spot at the moment. Now, the third and final one is that cryptocurrency companies are still rapidly expanding, hence why we saw all this money from these different funds in the past couple of months continuing to pour into crypto. But it seems like cryptocurrency has a couple of hot spots. Miami, Silicon Valley, and New York City are just a couple of them. And so what we're seeing here is that it looks like cryptocurrency is continuing to expand inside of New York City. And guess what? The companies that are expanding are Web3 blockchain-based crypto companies, which is where all of this big money is flowing into. And so we're seeing them gather in hubs around these specific cities, but especially so in New York. So we can see that NFT platforms and Web3 companies are kind of the target audience of New York right now. And again, there's lots of other companies up there, but Solana Labs just signed a lease for a 20,000 square foot building across 4 different floors in this brand new office building up in New York. So not only is new money coming into cryptocurrency here, but very large projects like Solana are continuing to move over here. And we also have Empire DAO as well, just a few blocks away from that. So lots of people and money are moving into cryptocurrency here. And that is continuing to go even with the bear market. So that's 3 different ways that the market is continuing to grow even in a bear market. But let's look at what's happening over here on the chart. Again, Bitcoin has been pretty volatile. One of the things that we said in the last video is that Bitcoin is not out of the woods yet. Why? Because we are in between support and resistance still. If we look over here, we have previous support now turned into resistance. We've seen this before, and guess what? We rejected off that same area once again. Now, we also still have support below us. So if we have support below us and resistance above us, this still puts us in a little bit of a pickle spot, because now we are range bound in a very choppy zone in between $33,000 and $28,000. And it seems to be like we are just going to be bouncing between this area until one of these two ends break. And actually, I'm going to be writing a further breakdown of this in the CryptNation chat for everyone in CryptNation and CryptNation VIPs. So if you want to check out my technical analysis in more detail, definitely check out the CryptNation group, and I have a link to that in the description down below. But with that being said, this is an area where it's important to watch cryptocurrency further. This is a very choppy zone. A lot can happen, especially if a breakout or breakdown does occur outside of the support and resistance levels that we just highlighted. So hopefully you all did enjoy. If you did, definitely consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. And if you like the video, share it with a friend or drop a comment in the comment section down below. But until next time, I will see you all in the next video.